Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's session. Discover the CRM that completes your Unleashed workflow. Let me just introduce myself. I am Suraj. I've been with Prospect CRM for about close to 2 years now, and I would be presenting you the product today. And hopefully, if you do take the free trial, we will have the privilege of meeting once again. And I do look after the APAC region. And the whole topic of discussion, why is Prospect CRM perfect for Unleash? How the CRM add-on can be a natural extension to your workflow rather than, you feeling like you're using a different solutions altogether. And the whole idea of us meeting today is to show you that some real B2B sales growth and give you some early return on investment, even when you start the free trial with us. And on our website, we do have hundreds of case studies for you to have a look at it and then assess yourself. Um, as you do know, both Unleashed and Prospect, we are part of the Axis Group. Prior to both of the companies being acquired by Axis, we've been tightly integrated for about 5 years. And now that we are part of the same group, the integration is even more deeper and it's a bit more tight since all our developers work closely together. So just to give you an example, as you can see on the screen, Helen from Pure Medic, you can see it is a bit of a disclaimer alert. We're not going to see it's going to be life-changing for everyone, but she could really did see the difference and the value once all the data reflected immediately, and she did think it was life-changing. Hopefully, we can show you some of that today, and you could be benefited out of this session. And also, with Prospect CRM, our product is built specifically for Unleashed customers. So we do want to be able to show you, what's a niche, segment that we work on and how it's beyond the basics. It's just not a sales pipeline management or a glorified data management software. We can do a lot more live actions in the CRM through the integration to Unleashed. And as I did mention, our CRM is built for product businesses. Um, And you can see right here, these are some of the top providers out there. One of them is, a couple of them are Salesforce, Pipedrive, and HubSpot, and then CRM in Unleashed. Everyone's got similar star rating and pricing at this day and age. That's one of the basic norms for any software out there. But if you do look at it a bit more closely, all these top providers have been catering more towards a service-led industry, like IT, marketing agencies, or management consulting, where there is an elongated sales process, and each division are trying to log in their activities and track all their emails and correspondence that they've had. And for them to implement the solutions, it takes anywhere between 2, 3, or even 5 years to sell that service. It's a bit more of an elongated sales cycle and a long drawn process. But if you do look at wholesale and distribution, it's a bit more of a dynamic and a seasonal environment. That's where our CRM comes into the picture, and our main area of focus is that niche area. And we own all our features and functionality developed in such a way where we are going to help you increase your average order value, also assess if there's any seasonality, and most importantly, we are going to ensure your customers get back to that repeat order cycle. Hopefully, we can show you some of the integration and the target audiences we have in the CRM. And also, you can see, the Unleashed CRM has been voted as the #1 stock-aware CRM, which is pretty unusual for a CRM, if you do know. That's because we are pretty niche on what we do and we're pretty focused. And we know what exactly is, our target audience. So, which is product-led businesses. And naturally, Unleashed businesses are all product owners. So as you can see, we've also got other accolades like easiest setup, highest user adoption, most implementable, and so on. But I'm really going to be able to show you why are we voted as the #1 stock of CRM? What is the reasoning behind that? That's the main idea of today's webinar. And to follow up that, we do have this simple growth formula. It does look fairly simple, but for us to implement this, it does take quite an effort from your end and our end. With any CRM, the whole idea is to bring in more customers. This could be through your marketing campaign and opportunity management. We do have that functionality. On top of that, we also focus heavily on your existing customer base. And we try to, we do have features and functionality which drives to increase your order frequency, average order value, and most importantly, customer retention. So together, we can promise you the sales growth that you're after. And just to simplify that for you in a bit more detailed manner, is this simple is this particular slide over here. As you can see, this is the growth model, which is one of the most basic concepts of any CRM. We are no different. We do follow the similar kind of workflow, but where we differentiate ourselves is, as you can see in the sales funnel, you try to attract more leads through your marketing efforts, which could be the campaigns that you send or any telemarketing efforts from your sales team, cold calling, or even inquiry forms which are hosted on your website. And once when you attract those customers, you qualify them and then push them through a sales process, which could be that initial face-to-face meeting, or it could also be capturing those notes, sending samples if that's part of your business process, and finally closing the deal and getting the first order in. But as you know, if this first order is a bit tentative, this whole process can be a loss-making effort, and it also takes anywhere between, 3, 4, or even 5 orders to break even in wholesale and distribution. And unfortunately, all the top CRMs out there, they only focus on filling in the funnel, getting as many as customers buying your product, and then boom, that's where they're done after the first order. But in Unleashed CRM, that's where we come into the picture. Not only do we onboard your customers, but we push them through the mechanism which I spoke to you on the previous slide, which really focuses on your order frequency, ensures we increase your average order value, and most importantly, we focus on retaining your customers as long as possible. So you don't have that leaky bucket effect where you're bringing in more customers and they're going through the other side of the funnel. So in a nutshell, that's what we're going to be looking at in today's session. And if you do wish to decide to come on board with us, this is something our onboarding team will sit with you and go through the various areas that you want to really drive your growth. The whole idea of the CRM is to turn your business into a growth engine. That's what our system is designed to do. And you can see it's a simple difference of the growth formula, more customers and higher customer lifetime value. Hopefully in today's session, I'm going to be showing you those early return on investments straight away, and see how well you can use that to your advantage. And we also have certain features and functionality that requires a bit more planning and configuration, which would be quite useful for you in automating certain workflows or capturing any campaigns that you're running or setting up those inquiry forms on your website and getting that information flown into the CRM. So those are the kind of features that requires a bit more planning. And you did see this acronym RFM. It's widely used in wholesale and distribution. And it is an industry standard reporting tool that we have adapted in our CRM as well. The whole idea of this is based on your sales history from Unleashed, we categorize your customers into the following segment, like champion, loyal, at risk, and so on. Champions are the one, who buy often, buy recently, or spend the most, compared to an at-risk customer who has spent big money at one point in time, but they've dropped in revenue due to various reasons. Again, this could be due to seasonality, change in pricing, or change in buyer. Whatever may be the reason, we indicate those customers to you. And we also give you some actionable insights on how you can get them back to that repeat order cycle. Finally, the whole idea, when you do add in new customers, research has proven that the fourth order is like the tipping point. So what this means is this gives an opportunity for your sales team to work with them a bit more closely, build that relationship organically, and eventually push them up through the segment and make them your, loyal or champion customer. So that's going to be another area that we're going to be focusing today. And also the million-dollar question. Before I show you this, it's what is part of the two-way sync, and what's the kind of that flows backwards and forwards between Unleashed and the CRM without any zero friction. So we've got a nice little graphic for you right there. So you can see it's a deep two-way sync. As I did mention, both the developers work way more closely than before. So you can see we're pulling your primary source of data from your inventory system, which is Unleashed. We pull through all your currencies, the local currencies and any foreign currencies that you deal with, any suppliers. All that data is captured. We also pull through, if you've got multiple warehouses and multiple locations, we pull through that data from Unleashed. and any tax, GST, or VAT you've set up against a customer, we pull through that data. Of course, we pull through the whole idea of the CRM is we pull through your customer's information. So we pull end-to-end information right from any contact information, any other any sales histories that you've set, and also suppliers information on when's the next shipment due and so on. And this is where the beauty of our CRM, that niche that I was talking to you about, why we call the number one stock OS CRM. We pull through your product pricing and inventory. I'm going to show you how that looks like. Hopefully that blows your mind as well. And finally, we also pull through all the sales history, any invoices, if you've given us a connection to your secondary account, like say Xero, QuickBooks, or Access Dimensions, we can pull through that, any credit notes. So what are we doing with all this data? We process that in the CRM, and then we are able to pull through to manage all your marketing efforts. We have the ability to add new customers, or we can also do a data import for you on managing all your prospects. So either way, so that you can send those mass email campaigns, you can differentiate between existing customers and prospects, and you can also convert a prospect into a customer, and that automatically gets pushed through into Unleashed without you being to do any double handling at your end. So that's the power of the integration we've got. And we also have the ability to create new products. This could be a catch-22 situation, and could be quite useful for customers with a wide range of products with a huge catalog. If you don't want to create all those products in Unleashed, you can create them in the CRM for quoting purposes. And then once when you do get confirmation, you can certainly push that product in and then create that in Unleashed. So that's another little feature we've got. And the other key element is the new orders. So we have the ability to quote in the CRM and also process a sales order. Hopefully, I'm going to show you how that looks like. And finally, using all this data, apart from the reports that you have in Unleashed, we give you some really key actionable insights associated both on the customer level and the product level, and showcase how your sales team can use that to their advantage. Hopefully, I've driven enough excitement to you guys with showing you this graphic. And I've also wanted to quickly mention before we go into the live action that this session is recorded. So please feel free to share this with your team members and get them hooked onto this session as well. And also there is a live Q&A button on your top right screen. So feel free to drop any questions. I will pick it up towards the end of the session. We do have a Q&A session as well. Awesome. Now let's just, without further ado, let's jump onto the live data. Perfect. I hope you're able to see my screen all right. So this is the basic, feature on how the CRM looks like. So that's the UI that we've got. A lot of Unleashed, account managers and customers have jokingly said that it's the blue version of Unleashed because it looks very similar, just with the color difference. And right now we're going to be focusing on the account manager's dashboard, and this can be set to certain account managers if they do use them. So what this does is it enables your account managers only to focus on the accounts that they deal with and the kind of revenue that they bring in. That's a nice little UI feature. I'm connected to this company called Coffee and Beans, so you know exactly what's the kind of, they do everything with beans, machinery, and equipments with coffee. And we do have other dashboards that I will be touching upon. Right now, this is going to be the main area of focus as well. Front and center, picking up from where we left, we do have the RFM analysis. So based on the sales history, we've done the following categorization to champion, loyal, at risk, and so on. If I quickly jump on to one of the segments here, and the beauty about our CRM is we just don't project the data to you, like, the name, who's the account manager, type, first order date, the last order date, and the total order count since the time they've come on board as a customer. But we do provide you with some actionable insights. You have the ability to save all the reports to Excel and make this into a contact list if need be. And you can also add them to a campaign and run your targeted marketing campaigns, and you can push them through your, a third-party provider like MailChimp, Klaviyo, and Spotler. And once when you send that campaign through, any responses will get saved under marketing, under campaigns. And finally, we also have the Sean Map section, which could be quite useful for your sales reps or account manager who plan their on-site visits. We do provide you the geographical presentation of all your customers, so they can certainly plan their trips accordingly, and they can pull specific reports as well. And just moving back, again, coming back to the screen right there. Now I'm going to show you what's the kind of data that we pull through from the integration. So let's quickly jump onto one of the customers right there, Byron Bay Coffee. And you can see right there, all this data right here, it's pulled through from Unleashed. And it's a deep two-way sync. So any changes that you make to the website or phone number or add additional contacts, it will go back into Unleashed, which saves any double handling that you have to do at your end. And we also give you a nice little activity feed on the orders that have come through on a regular basis. And we've also That's a nice little categorization section that shows you the type, the account manager. With all these fields over here, they are totally customizable. If you feel industry or priority doesn't match your business workflow, you can configure this to your requirement and view it accordingly. And similar to that, this entire screen is customizable. If you feel it's a bit too overpopulated and clunky, you want to keep it as crisp as possible, you can certainly preview it and view it accordingly. And you can do restricted dictionary for your account managers so they don't have the ability to make any changes or view any sensitive information that you've got at your end. And finally, here we've also got the at a glance section, which shows you, the customer type. They're a loyal customer. We show you a nice little spend in the last 365 days compared to the previous 365 days. They are growing, which is a great sign. And this is a rolling over period. Tomorrow, it'll be last 365 days tomorrow to the previous 365 days on the same time. And if you have set up the financial year to date, we also pull through that information and show you financial year, how, what's the growth like, and you can be on top of all that information as well. And finally, we also have the Google Maps integration on where exactly you're located. You can see right here, if your team members do want to plan their visits, that's another little UI feature that we've got. And with all the CRM things, I'll quickly come back to. Documents is a key area where any links that you send to the customer will be loaded right there. Any project proposals or any other key information will be loaded right there. So that's like the single source of access for you to access all that key information that you've sent. That's the link to open this account in Unleashed. You can see what type, like what's the kind of payment terms do they belong to, the GST, the price list. All this key data gets reflected right there. And also, if you do connect to Xero, QuickBooks, or as I did mention, we do have the ability to display all the list of age receivables, any outstanding invoices, paid invoices as well. It's like a one-stop shop for your sales team. And with sales transactions, we show you the most recent orders that have come through, that have been ordered, delivered, and invoiced, the local currency that you're dealing with, the percentage and the margin that you've got, and the transaction date and time. They're totally 650 transactions. If you're after a particular one, or even want to see what are the kind of beans that they've got from you, you can just hit that and it's going to pull through all the data for you. That's another added advantage. And you may also ask us a question. Okay, you're using all this data from Unleashed. What's the kind of analysis you provide? Sales analysis is the go-to part, where we give you some top-level information of the segment spend, order frequency, and the last order date. That's the invoice value per month, and that's the order value per month. At any given stage, if you only want to focus on 2025, you can quickly zoom in. As simple as that, you can get back to it. And once when you open this report, we give you the total revenue generated by this particular customer. And you can see March has been a phenomenal month. Apart from that, December, they've been fairly consistent. No wonder they're a loyal customer. And if you just scroll down, we also show you the list of products by breakdown, both by value and by order frequency. By far, the Breville coffee machine has been the top consumed product, which is 27.4%, followed by another SKU, which is 26.2%. And you get the idea of the breakdown. Once when I open this report, we give you the list of total revenue generated by Byron Bay Coffee and the total SKUs. They've totally got 13 SKUs. By far, the Breville coffee machine has been the number one consumed product with the revenue and the units and a bit of a descending order value of the products as well. If I quickly click on that, this is where we get the tagline of the number one stock-aware CRM. So through the integration to Unleashed, we just don't pull your customer data, but we also pull through your product files as well, right from the SKU code, name, cost price, list price, total stock available, categories, and any images that you've set up, all the data gets captured right here. by all means, Unleashed will still remain your master data. So any changes that you want to make to this queue, it'll still be done in Unleashed. And through the overnight sync, it will reflect back into the CRM. And we also give you a little bit more information that you can do. We give you stock levels. We give you multiple warehouse locations if you've got like various locations set up. And I did mention we pull through suppliers information in the deep two-way sync. This shows you when is the next shipment due, if you're out of stock, and say you can keep your customers up to date right from the CRM itself. Sales transaction shows you the recent transactions that have come through for the Breville coffee machine. Analysis again is a bit of a deep dive in. We show you the top buyers for this product, and we also give you the buying pattern. So you can see the spend capacity over the months. March was a phenomenal month. Other than that, it was fairly quiet. You can certainly save this report to Excel and make this into a stock forecasting report for your next financial year and then use it accordingly. So that's the kind of key insights we provide. And that moving forward, the CRM can be a central point of access where you can add additional images, link files that are associated to the product. All the key data can be associated here. We also pull through bill of material right there. And any price tiers you have set up, we pull through that and it's associated to the customer. So when you're doing a sales order or a quote, this automatically gets reflected. And finally, we have the upsell option. As we did mention earlier, the whole idea of the CRM is to help you increase your average order value. So we have linked to products, and this can be recommended, upgrade, or must sell. So I will have a quick inquiry with the customer, and if they do sell, say, oh, we usually make 100 coffees an hour, so this machine would be quite handy. But if they do say they make 250, you can push them to an upgrade and show them a coffee with a double header, which would be a bit more faster for their business process. And once when you link these two recommended as knockbox or grinder, this will come up every time you quote this particular product or push them through a sales order. These two will come up as a prompt, encouraging your sales team to increase that average order value. Let's quickly see that in action, how that looks like. And finally, we do have this as again, another key tool that helps you with increasing your average order value is this magic matrix analysis. It is a Harvard Business School idea. So through the integration, we pull through all the categories that this particular customer has bought from you so far. What is there a room for opportunity for any cross-selling tools like labor or sugar sticks? We can run targeted marketing campaigns and make them aware of. They're already aware of the coffee carts and display equipment. And then once they're interested, we can create an opportunity and have the sales pipeline reporting and eventually show them which are the categories they've bought from you so far. So the whole idea is to increase your average order value. I will show you a global view on how that looks like, but now I think it's time to perform some live actions as well. So that's the kind of data that we pull through from the integration side. Just before we move on to any live actions, I'm going to show you the other key reports. As you do know, AI is the buzz acronym in the market. We do have that integrated in the CRM. So what this does is, based on the sales history, the AI predicts when is the next average order day they should have placed an order, what's the average order value that they should be placing an order for, what's the shortest time they take to place an order, and what's the longest time. And a lot of customers, after taking the free trial, before we've even met for the actual demo, they've found a lot of success from this particular report. It's like a key indicator for your Unleashed account managers on who they should be reaching out to. And hopefully, you get benefited by this report as well when you take the free trial. And we also give you the customer trends report based on the sales history from Unleashed again. We project your customers as growing, static, and declining. So if I open that report, we show you the list of customers to spend in the last 365 days to the previous 365 days who are growing. And then you can also focus on the ones who are declining. And either using this data, you can make them into a calling list, or you can add them to a campaign and run a targeted marketing campaign with some special discounts in pricing and ensure you get them back to that repeat order cycle. So that's the kind of actionable insights we provide to you straight away, even during the free trial, these three reports over there. And the needs engagement is, again, based on, right now it's in trial version. It's a fictitious company, so it's a bit all over the place. But once when you start using the CRM, based on when was the last time you logged any kind of activity, set a task, or set any kind of reminders, this will be up to date. That's a nice little feature to be on top of customer engagement. And problems is an after-sales ticketing solution that some of our customers use. As you can see, any damaged goods on delivery, warranty and claim, and all that key data gets captured here. There is a workflow there, and this can certainly be configured to your requirement. And any product returns or technical issues, you can configure that to your needs as well and resolve all the problems in a bit of a timely manner. Close rates is an, again, sales pipeline reporting tool based on when was, again, we have sales pipeline reporting that can be configured to your needs, right from unqualified to won or lost. Based on if you won or lost an opportunity, it will reflect right here. I'll quickly show you a report on how you can use that to your advantage. And 12 months order gives you all the orders that have come through in the current calendar year with a bit of a monthly breakdown. And we give you a nice little preview of the orders that have come through from Unleashed, a comparison between this month versus last month. And if I open that, as we did mention, it's a deep two-way sync. So you can see what are the orders that have come through. It will reflect in the CRM straight away. And if you do process a sales order in the CRM, that will get pushed into Unleashed as a draft sales order. And rest is business per usual, where you can pick, ship, and your operations team can pick, ship, and invoice it. So that's the kind of reports that we have on the account manager's dashboard. Now, as we did discuss earlier, we're going to perform some live actions. Let's go into, we highly recommend to work on a contact so we can track back that information. So we're going to be working with Michelle Dury through the breadcrumb menu. We know where exactly we're located, Browns of Ipswich. They are a loyal customer. They're performing pretty well. And Michelle is a long-standing customer. All that she wants to do is to get a quote sent out. And we're going to capture that. And before we do a quote or a sales order, I'm going to show you a couple of features in the CRM. This is where we enter any kind of notes, any outcomes from the meetings, be it a general note, failed to contact, incoming call, sent an email. All this can be set up and you can configure this. And end of the day, you can pull through specific reports to see what was the number of incoming calls made or, emails received and so on. All that can be captured. And finally, the main feature we've got is the task manager capability. So we have the, ability to leave task. Michelle called and asked to send a quote. You can assign this internally between any of the users. So you can see, you can choose who do you want to assign this task to, and you can mark this as important, choose a specific time. The moment you hit save, it will reflect on the CRM, on the activity feed, and also on the list of things to do. Until you've actioned it, it will still remain here. So we have to ensure we have actioned the task in a timely manner. That's the key little feature we've got. And we've also got sending emails feature. One of the key reasons is we've got set templates. So you can also configure this to as many as templates as you please. And if I choose the intro email, it'll show you the standard text that you're going to type, who you're actioning it to, and who's it coming from. And yeah, when you take the free trial, this particular feature is disabled, but this will be live when you go, when you're a subscribed customer. The whole idea for me to showcasing this feature is functionality is you can see the most recent email sent. And since we've got integration to Google, Gmail, and Outlook, this will look exactly like how it's come from your Outlook or Gmail domain. And it also gives you tracking capabilities if Michelle has clicked on any links or processed and delivered. And any responses will come back to your Gmail or Outlook inbox. And through the plugin service that we have, you can save that response back into the CRM and you can capture the entire workflow. So it gives visibility for all the team members on the communication correspondence that you've had with this customer. So now we know what we have to do exactly, which is to process a quote. By all means, you can process a sales order, no issues whatsoever. And it will be pushed into Unleashed as a draft sales order. Just for the demo purpose, I'm going to do a quote. And we can also set templates for based on, say, if Michelle regularly orders from a certain kind of a product line, you can have that as gold pack, silver, or bronze, which could be configured rather than having to rekey the orders. You can just hit that up, and all this data is populated from Unleashed. Once when you hit create, it's going to take us to the landing page of the quote, and you can enter any order reference number, any descriptions that it's appropriate for you. And once when you come down, the CRM is pretty smart. It only shows you the most frequently ordered items by Michelle. Let's look at the Breville coffee machine that we saw earlier. And as I did mention to you, the two products that we linked up as recommended has come up. and you can check with Michelle and add them and swiftly increase that average order value. And maybe this is a bit more of a smaller screen, but once when you hit the search section, we show you the multi-line quoting system, which has close to 79 SKUs. So you can see the list price, cost price, and the total stock available and the pricing. And you can also go search that by any categories that Michelle is after, or search for a particular SKU, or to make life more easier, you can also look at the recently purchased. And you can see, okay, Michelle, you've got the Colombian coffee and the Ethiopian beans. You can hit add and close, and that is going to get populated. When you are processing a sales order, just an example, I'm sure the customer's got your price list. So if they do send you the CSV file, as long as it's got the SKU code, description, quantity, and pricing, you can drag and drop that in this dotted box, and this will get populated for you. So that's another little feature as well. And there are a few more things you can do with us, with our quotes. You can go in, edit pricing. You can see any key financials that we pull through from Unleashed. And you can also edit the pricing, discount, and cost. So if you do feel Michelle has an additional back-end rebate on the missionary items, you can enable that. And we can also show you how we can present it to the customer by doing a bit of grouping and summarizing. So we can keep that as machine. And the other sec, we can keep it as beans. And the beauty of the CRM is we can replicate the Unleashed quote template for you, or you can choose some templates that we already have inbuilt in the CRM, where you can choose quote templates with heavy branding, or like any other. It's a standard Word document that can be configured to your requirement, but you certainly have got various options that you can use. And from here, if you hit confirm, that will get pushed into Unleashed as a draft sales order. But if you do want to present this by another way, I did mention we've got emails with certain templates. You can certainly go and choose the email simple cover. You can choose a basic email quote, or you can see the simple table, or you can choose a simple cover PDF. So this comes with action buttons. At the start of the demo, we did mention to you how we're going to help you with automating your workflows. This is one particular one. So you can see Michelle can either approve or decline. I'm not going to send this email, but I'm just going to show you how it reflects on Michelle's end. So it gives you a fair little understanding on the kind of expertise that we have, and the various options that we have when it comes to confirming a quote. Let me quickly just download that for you. And you can see we can already have those logos. If we can see the subcategories, SKU, and then beans. And if Michelle is happy with the pricing, she can just hit approve. It takes us to a landing page where if she's part of your 30-day payment term, she can just enter the PO number. But if you do have integration to Stripe, that will reflect here for your performer customers and get the payments upfront. The moment you hit approve, the CRM does capture this information. We get a nice little notification on this particular page. And thank you for your approving the quote. And what happens here, I'm just going to quickly go you. We're not going to bother sending this email. And if I quickly refresh the screen, you can see apologies for that. This is one thing, the issues that we have with a fictitious company. So what happens is the moment, that's been confirmed, it comes into the CRM and then gets pushed into Unleashed as a draft sales order. And then rest is business per usual. So that's how you complete a workflow when it comes to automating the quote to order workflow. That's pretty much on servicing an existing customer. And now if I quickly show you, moving on to managing a new prospect, we do have certain ways of capturing new information. You can create as many as contacts or companies on the go. One question we get asked a lot is, do we have a mobile app? We do have a responsive app where we can capture for your sales rep. As long as they've got good internet connection and tab or a mobile phone, they can access the CRM in any point of direction. And we do have the ability to generate new prospects. You can create an inquiry form and host it on your website. Any inquiries that come from your website will get saved under marketing under inquiries. And then your admin team or your contact can qualify it and then pass it on to your sales team. That's another little feature we've got. Or we also have user settings and notifications. So you can toggle on for any inquiries that has come through as instance. You'll be notified by email. Similar for orders, customers, and there's a lot of things you can hit the toggle on and be up to date with the notifications. And also with the task list, you can set reminders on the go as well. So what I'm going to show you before we move on is, let's say as an example, we've got an issue that's come up with the products that we sent. One of the beanbags is damaged. So what we're going to do, again, we can go into Michelle, and we can create, we can log a problem. We can say damaged goods, and you can choose a source. We can choose it's a delivery issue, or if you choose a product issue, it will come up with RMA numbers and all that. Again, these can be configured, but just for this particular workflow, let's say delivery issues. Once you hit create, it'll take us to the landing page, and you have to set a follow-up task. And we can certainly set a follow-up task for myself. Select image, and you can do that for today. And once when you set that up, it reflects on the activity feed, as you can see right there. And then based on the conversations that you have, if someone's picked up, they can say working on status with us. And say if you are on site and if you happen to go into the store, you can always download images to the CRM. If you go to the documents tab, if you're on the phone, you can hit the plus symbol, take a photo, and you can upload that straight away, and it will reflect here. And then you can assign a task to a team member internally. They can action it and then process this credit accordingly. So that's the one way where you can certainly resolve issues in a bit more of a timely manner. And when all that is captured, you can pretty much go in and hit clear task, and that'll certainly give you a bit of an indication on what's happened with an issue and who's working on it and when is the next task set and how is it resolved. So it's fairly simple on engaging on tracking a problem and resolving it in a bit more easier way. And there are a few more things which we would want to touch upon again is if you do create a new opportunity, similar to a problem, we do have sales pipeline reporting. We've got for new customer where the status is from unqualified. This is a set standard pipeline. Again, you can configure this as per your business requirement and see how you're going with that as well. And you can certainly close prospects into converting customers on the go, which is a nice little feature we've got. And if you do feel, we've got heaps of reports under marketing, products, people, and each of these reports, you can see customers who've got like just the Australian beans, but not the Ethiopian beans. You can do a bit of a comparison with the SKU code and target it to them. Or you can see, all open opportunities or decreasing revenue. Who are the ones who are declining in revenue? How do we target these customers and ensure you get them back to that ordering cycle? Or if you also go, and this is one particular report I wanted to show you, which is the new opportunities section. In due course of time, you might be dealing hundreds of opportunities, and you can set the cutoff meter is what's the percentage that you're expecting from them. And you can also add filters. You can see, who's the salesperson that's dealing with and the status. And then you can choose which salesperson's pipeline do you want to have a look at, or the status, okay, which is in quoting stage, which is one, and all that filtering options can be done. And the beauty, this is my favorite, one of my favorites, which is the Kanban view. So far, what we saw was the tabular form, and this is the Kanban view on you can move to your sales process or pushing to close. And apart from that, we also have the monthly view as well, just to give you an understanding on what is due to fall in this month or upcoming months, and so on. That's a nice little, again, with the Kanban view, you can move it accordingly and set up those dates as well. And we also have the ability to create and generate your own reports. So if you do feel you want a specific report, you can hit that up straight away and you can pull reports based on activities, sales transactions, customer spend, and all the data can be pulled through from the CRM itself. And lastly, before we move on, I did mention I'm going to show you the magic matrix. And before that, we also have Sales Manager's dashboard. This is another favorite dashboard of mine, which gives you your whole operations, a bit more of a holistic and a comprehensive look at your whole operations with a bit of a leaderboard and the way they've spent this month versus last month, the revenue generated, total customers that you're dealing with, if your net change, if you're growing or not, all the closed deals, pipeline, problems. It's like a one-stop shop to get like a single source of truth for all the management team. And finally, with the Magic Matrix dashboard, and we've also added another key little feature, which is personal dashboard. So apart from the set standard dashboards, if you want certain reports to reflect in a certain way, you can create those dashboards on the go. And so the whole idea of the magic matrix, again, it's a Harvard Business School idea. So you can see these are the categories that's been set up. And red means they're unaware, green means they're bought, amber means they've got it. They're aware of that, and blue means they have an opportunity. Out of all the categories, we believe Sugar Sticks is the one that does not have any awareness campaigns or opportunities. So let's say, how do we target that? So the whole idea is we put your customers on the x-axis and the product on the y-axis. So as you can see right there, you can see the customers are on the x-axis and the product over there. And you can see with these red dots and blue dots for coffee carts, you can see fair little are aware of them. And there are a few opportunities on display. And you can see most of them have got your machines or your ingredients, but none of them have got the sugar sticks. We can run a targeted marketing campaigns just for, your champion loyal new customers. Don't lose them at risk. And we can also choose your customer type. Maybe you want to run it only for your retailers or for your wholesale customers or your bulk buys. And from here, since we connect to third-party tools like MailChimp and Klaviyo, you can choose which category you want to create a campaign for. We've already set the segments. There's 16 customers. We only want it to run to the ones who are unaware. Once when you hit next, and you can create an campaign activity, push through this contact list to MailChimp, Klaviyo, or Spotler, formulate your email, add your flyers, and once when you send this campaign through, what happens in the CRM here is all these red dots now turn into amber, which means they are aware that you sourced the sugar sticks. And if they do come back to you, any responses will flow back into marketing under campaigns. And if any one of those companies of the 16 say, you know what, we're interested, we didn't know you sourced the product, we would like to know more and pricing, you can create an opportunity and that'll turn into blue and track that sales pipeline. And finally, when they come back and say, you know what, we're interested, we would like to buy this category, that turns into green. So the whole idea is to create as many as cross-selling opportunities and make this report as green as possible, which will in turn increase your average order value. So that's the very existence of the CRM, which is to help you increase your order frequency, average order value, and most importantly, your customer retention. With that having said, I believe we have come on to the end of the session. Thank you patiently for sitting through. Of course, if we had to go through all the capabilities of the CRM, we would be sitting here till tomorrow afternoon. There's so much information. The best way would be is to meet you guys again with your free trial and show you hopefully some existing data from your end, which will make more sense with your customers. Now, if I quickly go back to the main screen again. So what are the next steps? First of all, thanks again for how do you get this analysis free for 14 days? So yes, we are offering a free trial. So on your Unleashed portal, there is a CRM tab. If you just hit that and allow access, the data import is automatic. It takes usually about 24 to 72 hours based on the data or the time you've been using Unleashed, and it would be automated and complete. And as a way of us saying thank you to you, we would like you to offer the first 3 months in half price on your new CRM, provided if you could please take the free trial by the 22nd of August and subscribe within your trial. So that's a nice little way for us to say thank you so much for taking your valuable time and joining us in today's session. And yes, now we are open to any live Q&A that you've got. Please do hit the chat up and I'm happy to take the question. And hopefully we can try finishing up early and you can take a good valuable 10 minutes of your day back. Cheers. Thank you. We close off one thing which which I would like to mention or reiterate is the pricing. Just to give you a bit of an understanding, we are looking at $631 per month. That's AUD. And for New Zealand, we're looking at $691 per month. The only other thing you might have to consider is we do have extensive onboarding sessions where you'll be taken care of when it comes to configuration and setup and any training sessions. There is a CSM plan in place. The standard plan is 15% of your subscription cost, which is $95 per month. This you will have a dedicated account manager. Any response time is fairly quick, and then live chat support. This is recommended, but that's totally based on your budget. Or there is an essential plan, which is absolutely free, but you will be catering to a lot of self-help documents. So please feel free to take whichever plan is more suitable for you. And based on that, the first 3 months half price, this will be 362.50 or 315.50. Please do see how you go. So that's the pricing structure. All right, then. I believe it's been a pleasure meeting you once again. Thank you patiently for sitting through the session. And please, we highly recommend you to starting a free trial so you can see all your valuable data flow through into the CRM. And we will have the privilege of meeting you once again. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. We've got the valuable 30 minutes of your day back. Have a good one. Bye.